3 simple words. Your cat secretly recognizes when you speak. What if I told you that every time you walk into a room and call out to your cat, they understand exactly what you're saying? They just choose whether or not to respond? Here's the truth. Your cat isn't ignoring you because they don't understand. They're ignoring you because they're a cat, and they've already decided whether your words are worth their time. But make no mistake, they know exactly what you said. Today, we're diving into the fascinating science behind the 3 simple words your cat secretly recognizes when you speak, and trust me, what researchers have discovered will completely change how you communicate with your feline friend. The science behind cat language recognition. For years, scientists believed cats were solitary, independent creatures with minimal interest in human communication. That belief just got shattered. In 2019, researchers at Sophia University in Tokyo published groundbreaking findings that proved cats can distinguish their own names from other similar-sounding words, even when spoken by complete strangers. The study tested 78 cats over 6 months using a habituation-dishabituation method, where cats heard 4 similar-sounding nouns followed by their actual name. The results? Cats consistently showed stronger responses to their names through ear movements, head turns, and changes in attention, even when they didn't physically approach the speaker. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. In 2024, a team at Azabu University in Japan discovered that cats can form rapid picture word associations faster than human infants. Cats were shown animated images paired with nonsense words like Perumo and Kararu spoken by their caregivers. After just 2 9-second trials, cats spent 33% more time looking at screens when word-image pairings were switched, proving they'd learned the associations without any food rewards or explicit training. This means your cat is actively processing and learning human language just by listening to you talk. No treats required. What's powering this linguistic ability? The feline brain contains approximately 250 to 300 million cortical neurons in their cerebral cortex, the region responsible for processing complex information, memory, and decision-making. While dogs have about 530 million neurons, cats share nearly 90% of their brain structure with humans, giving them sophisticated cognitive capabilities that scientists are only beginning to understand. Word number 1, their name. The first word your cat recognizes is the most obvious, yet most scientifically validated: their name. But here's what most people don't realize. When your cat hears their name, their brain processes it differently than any other sound in their environment. Research using auditory cortex monitoring shows that when cats hear their names from their favorite person, specific neural pathways light up with activity, creating what neuroscientists call emotional data. Your cat's name becomes a loaded word through thousands of repetitions paired with specific outcomes. Every time you say whiskers before filling their food bowl, every time you call mittens before playtime, every time you coo their name during petting sessions, their brain forms powerful associative connections through classical conditioning. This is the same learning mechanism discovered by Ivan Pavlov with his famous dogs. Except your cat is learning without formal training, purely through daily life experiences. The Sophia University study revealed that cats living in ordinary households showed clear discrimination between their own names and the names of cohabiting cats. They responded with orienting behaviors, ear flicking, head movements, and increased attention, specifically when their name was called, even after becoming habituated to other similar sounds. Interestingly, cats from cat cafes, where they hear dozens of names daily from strangers, showed less discrimination ability, suggesting that consistent use by a primary caregiver strengthens name recognition. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Why doesn't your cat come when called? Scientists at the University of Tokyo discovered that cats responded to their names only 82% of the time during testing, and many responses were subtle, just a flick of the ear, or slight head turn rather than physically approaching. The reason isn't lack of understanding, it's autonomy. Cats are solitary hunters by evolutionary design, not pack animals bred to follow commands like dogs. When you call their name, they hear you perfectly. Their brain processes the sound, recognizes the phonemic pattern, and makes a conscious executive decision about whether responding serves their interests at that moment. One study found that only 10% of cats actually got up and moved toward their owner's voice. The rest simply acknowledged it and stayed put. But there's another layer to this. Research shows cats may deliberately delay their response by 3 to 5 minutes to maintain their sense of independence. They love you and want to be near you, but they don't want to appear submissive by immediately obeying a command. So they wait, then casually appear in the doorway and rub against your leg, as if to say, "I didn't come because you called. I came because I decided to." Word number 2, food-related words. If there's one category of words that triggers instant feline attention, it's anything related to food. Words like treat, dinner, food, or even the specific brand name of their favorite snacks create immediate behavioral changes in cats, and the science behind this is absolutely fascinating. Cats learn food words through classical conditioning with remarkable efficiency. Every time you say treat and then produce an actual treat, your cat's brain creates a neural link between the auditory stimulus, the word, and the unconditioned stimulus, the food itself. After repeated pairings, the word alone becomes a conditioned stimulus that triggers anticipation responses, increased alertness, approaching behavior, vocalization, and even physical changes like salivation and dilated pupils. Research shows cats can recognize food-related words even when spoken in different tones, and some cats learn to distinguish between the sounds of specific food containers. One study on automatic feeders found that when owners recorded their voices to play before meals, cats quickly associated that specific voice pattern with food, strengthening their bond and creating predictable behavioral responses that reduced stress and early morning wake-up calls. Here's where it gets remarkable. Cats don't just respond to the word itself, they respond to context and timing. If you consistently say dinner before feeding time, your cat begins anticipating food the moment they hear it, with their brain already preparing for the experience through increased dopamine release, the feel-good chemical that creates reward sensations. Researchers studying cat vocalizations in different contexts found that cats' meows before waiting for food had distinct acoustic characteristics compared to other situations, and they could be identified with over 95% accuracy using AI analysis. But the Oregon State University study revealed something that might surprise you. While 37% of cats preferred food to human interaction, the majority, 50%, actually preferred social interaction with humans over food when given a direct choice. This groundbreaking 2017 research tested 50 cats from homes and shelters, depriving them of food, toys, and human contact for several hours, then offering all stimuli simultaneously. Social interaction won. This means that for many cats, hearing your voice and receiving your attention may be even more reinforcing than food rewards, a complete reversal of what scientists previously believed about feline motivation. Word number 3, positive reinforcement words. This is the category that will blow your mind because it's the least obvious yet potentially most powerful. Positive reinforcement words like good, yes, good boy, good girl, and even beautiful or handsome. These words work through a completely different mechanism than names or food words, and they tap directly into your cat's emotional processing centers. A groundbreaking 2021 study from Oregon State University shook the world of cat behavior when it revealed that many cats actually preferred human interaction and verbal praise over food. Dr. Kristen Vitale, who led the research, found that cats who received consistent verbal praise, especially when paired with gentle physical affection, formed deeper bonds with their humans and were more likely to seek out interaction in the future. But here's what makes positive reinforcement words special. Your cat processes not just the word itself, but the entire package of information accompanying it. When you say good kitty with a warm voice and a loving gesture, your cat links those sounds to feelings of safety and affection through multisensory processing. Research on emotion recognition in cats demonstrates that felines integrate visual and auditory signals to recognize human emotions, and they modulate their behavior according to the valence, positive or negative, of the emotion perceived. One study used a cross-modal paradigm to test whether cats could match emotional facial expressions with corresponding vocalizations. The results showed that cats successfully integrated human happiness signals through both voice and face, and they displayed measurably lower stress levels when exposed to positive emotional cues compared to anger or fear. This means when you praise your cat, they're not just hearing random sounds, they're experiencing a complex emotional message that activates their reward pathways and reinforces the behavior that earned your approval. The psychology of affirmation works for cats just like it does for humans. When you call your cat princess or tell them they're a good boy, their eyes might soften into that slow blink, the kitty kiss, or they might start purring, telling you in their own way, "I feel that love." Cats who receive consistent verbal praise during positive behaviors show increased social confidence, more frequent affectionate behaviors toward owners, and lower overall stress markers. But there's something crucial you need to understand. Cats are intuitive enough to tell the difference between genuine praise and words said without feeling. They pick up on the subtle prosodic features, the melody and rhythm of speech that reveal your true emotional state. Studies on cat-directed speech found that cats respond significantly better to higher-pitched sing-song tones that resemble the way we naturally speak to babies. This brings us to a fascinating discovery. Cats only respond to baby talk when it comes from their owner, not strangers. French researchers at Université Paris-Nanterre tested 16 cats with recordings using both adult-directed and cat-directed speech from owners and strangers. When owners used cat-directed speech, elevated pitch, elongated vowels, affectionate rhythm, cats' reaction scores jumped from an average of 4 to 14 on a 20-point scale measuring ear movements, head turns, pupil dilation, and approach behaviors. But when strangers used the exact same baby talk tone, cats showed little to no response, remaining at an average score of 6. This selective response reveals something profound about the cat-human bond. Cats aren't just responding to vocal characteristics, they're responding to the emotional meaning they've learned to associate with their specific caregiver's voice. Research comparing cats' reactions to owner voices versus stranger voices consistently shows that cats distinguish their owner's vocal patterns among all other human voices, even without visual cues. They've assigned emotional meaning to your specific voice pattern, and over time, certain words become anchor words, sounds that tell them, "You're safe. I like what you did." The fourth bonus element, your tone of voice. While we've focused on 3 specific word categories, there's a fourth element that underlies everything: tone of voice. This isn't a specific word, but it's arguably the most important component of feline communication. Cats are incredibly sensitive to the emotional content of human speech, picking up on pitch, intensity, rhythm, and emotional valence with remarkable precision. A 2022 study measuring acoustic parameters of cat-directed speech found that both men and women significantly elevated their mean fundamental frequency, their pitch, when speaking to cats compared to adult-directed speech. Women also showed greater intensity contour variation, meaning they used more expressive dynamic vocal patterns when addressing felines. Why does this matter? Because cats evolved to pick up on subtle cues in their environment as a survival mechanism. Your tone carries information about your intentions, emotional state, and what's likely to happen next. A soft, playful tone might make them approach you eagerly, while a sharp or loud tone can make them wary. Cats can even detect stress in human voices through micro-vibrations in speech, and they respond by either approaching to comfort or maintaining distance to preserve their own emotional safety. Research on cats' ability to recognize human emotions through scent, sound, and visual cues shows they integrate multimodal information to assess situations. When exposed to human fear odors, cats displayed significantly more severe stress-related behaviors, using their right nostril more frequently, which connects to the brain hemisphere responsible for processing intense emotions like anger and fear. This demonstrates that cats don't just hear your words, they're conducting a full emotional assessment of your state before deciding how to respond. Practical applications, using this science to strengthen your bond. Now that you understand the 3 words your cat recognizes, their name, food-related words, and positive reinforcement words, plus the critical role of tone, how can you use this knowledge? First, be consistent with your cat's name. Use it regularly in positive contexts, during feeding, play, and affection, to strengthen the association. Avoid using their name when disciplining, as this can create negative associations that weaken their response. Second, leverage food words strategically. Pick specific words for treats versus meals and use them consistently to help your cat predict and prepare for different experiences. This reduces anxiety and creates clearer communication. Third, don't underestimate the power of praise. Use a warm, elevated pitch when saying good or yes after positive behaviors. Pair these words with gentle physical affection to create powerful positive associations. Remember, for many cats, your approval and attention are more valuable than food rewards. Finally, pay attention to your tone. Use cat-directed speech, that higher-pitched, melodic baby talk, when you want to engage your cat's attention and convey affection. They've learned that this specific vocal pattern from you signals safety, love, and positive interaction. The bottom line, your cat understands more than you ever imagined. They recognize their name with the same clarity you do. They know exactly what treat means before you've even opened the cabinet. They feel the warmth in your praise and respond to it emotionally. The difference between cats and dogs isn't intelligence, it's independence. Cats possess approximately 250 to 300 million cortical neurons capable of processing complex language associations, forming memories that last over 10 years, and integrating emotional information across multiple sensory channels. So the next time your cat flicks an ear when you call their name but doesn't come running, don't assume they didn't hear you. They heard, they understood, they processed your tone, assessed the situation, and made an informed decision about whether responding aligned with their current priorities. That's not rudeness, that's intelligence. And here's the real takeaway. Every word you speak to your cat is building your relationship. Every time you use their name, every treat you announce, every good kitty you offer, you're creating a shared language that strengthens your bond. Cats may not wag their tails or fetch on command, but they're listening, learning, and loving you in their own unique way. So tell me, what words does your cat respond to most? Have you noticed them perking up at specific phrases? Drop your experiences in the comments below. And if you found this video eye-opening, smash that like button, share it with your fellow cat lovers, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating insights into the secret lives of our feline companions. Your cat might be smarter than you think, and now you have the science to prove it. See you in the next video.